You wake up in a world filled with magic and adventure, finding yourself in the body of a man who belongs to a demon society. Memories flood your mind, and you realize that your father, Grand Baza, one of the 4 generals of the Demon King, had taken you in as an abandoned baby and raised you as his own. However, despite your efforts to learn magic, you find yourself stuck at the lowest rank in the demon army, constantly looked down upon by the other generals. Your brother, Bashveza, assumes your father's position as general after Grand Baza retirement. But on the very first day as one of the heavenly generals, Bashveza cruelly fires you from your position and kicks you out of the palace. What do you do? Keep watching and finds out the best decisions to survive in this situation. With no home to return to, you start wandering, searching for a place to live and survive in this unforgiving world. However, you soon realize that your previous self lacked survival skills to fend for yourself and avoid starvation. Nevertheless, luck shines upon you when you stumble upon a human woman named Malika being chased by a giant monkey in the forest. Using your fighting skills, you manage to save her, even without a weapon of your own. To your surprise, you find a knife in Malika's bag, which becomes your weapon against the monkey. So your best choice is to aim in vital points of that monkey, such as the head or the chest. Aimed at vital points, you successfully defeat the monster and earn Malika's gratitude. She invites you to her village, Lux, to meet her parents and offers you shelter and a chance at a new life. There, you reveal your situation, hiding the fact that you are from the demon army. The village's guild master, who is also Malika's father and the chief of Lux, offers you a position in the guild as an adventurer. Eager for a fresh start, you accept the offer and successfully perform the initiation ritual to register in the guild. You discover that you were actually a human all along, raised by Grand Baza in the demon society. The chief enlightens you about the importance of aura, which can be infused into weapons for combat. Through an aura test, you impress the guild master by demonstrating perfect control over all 4 types of aura, a rarity known as the hero's aura. With this newfound power, the chief advises you and apply to the Central Guild, the main power of the human race. However, considering your past as a member of the demon army, it's best to stay low for now and continue living in Lux Village with Malika's family. The chief introduces you as a new adventurer to the villagers and are welcomed by everyone except for Gashida, the village's only current adventurer. You have your first assignment to defeat a dangerous monster, which Gashida couldn't complete. You accept it, but you realize that the monster in the woods is the same one you saved Malika from, and defeated without even knowing it was a guild assignment. The chief embarrassed Gashida by thanks you for defeating the monster. After that, you explore the woods with Malika, who shares her dream of becoming an adventurer. You start looking for medicinal herbs. You and Malika fight and kill both monsters, bringing them back to the village. Gashida runs off crying because his spotlight was stolen again. After some time, you adjust well to village life, but Gashida remains unwilling to work with you. The father tells you about an urgent quest to hunt down a highly dangerous Blaze Death Scythe monster in the village's woods that has been handed over to a neighboring town's guild. You volunteer to find Gashida, who is left to hunt the monster himself, and are given medicinal supplies by Malika. You encounter the monster following Gashida and fight it, eventually killing it with a slash aura of its own scales. You apply anti-venom and blood staunch herb to Gashida's wounds and return to the village. Gashida thanks you for saving his life and wishes to work under you after healing from his injuries. In the next day, you learn about the mithril mine from the mayor and how it was taken over by demons, causing Lux Village's decline, and you decide to sneak into the mine to negotiate with the workers for mithril to bring back to Lux Village. You sneak into the mine and encounter the knockers, who recognize you and tell you about the new management's demands for increased production, making them work non-stopping. Demon soldiers enter the mine, and you hide behind a rock. The soldiers threaten the knockers with death if they don't meet their production quota. This is a great opportunity for you. Since you have the memory of your body past life, you know how much the knockers appraises you, so this is the best situation to take control of the mine. Also, it's not a good idea to kill the soldiers, it can bring a full war to Lux Village. So you decide to intervene and face off against the commander and his soldiers. As you have memory of the time you're in the demon army, you use your knowledge of the soldiers' spellcasting durations to take them down in ascending order, tackle the commander and force him to resign from his post. The grateful knockers make you their boss, report back to the mayor, and plead to ensure protection for the knockers, and the mine returns under human control. With the mine back in operation, Lux Village flourishes once again. Some time passes and you're now a prestigious adventurer, member of the village, and you become an intermediary between the knockers. After returning from the mine, you recognize the voice of your former friend from the best course of action is to suggest a plan to avoid another violent outcome over the mithril mine, which can benefit both humans and demons. So, you bring Rizit to the village and make the agreement. Also, it is instructing to you to find the old mithril workshop and get it running again, but it has already claimed it with the next town's adventurers. Fatibatin, one of next town's adventurers, proposes forming an alliance to fight the Central Guild, but you decline and are challenged to a duel. The duel will decide the ownership of the mine. This is a perfect opportunity to have full control of mithril and weapon production. You have to accept the duel. After accepting the duel, you gain from the old smith a special knife called the Hermes sword, which can change its shape with the wielder's aura. For the next days, you should train your fighting skills with your new knives. Some days passed and you and Fatibitan meet at the square for the duel. It goes easy for you since you have a perfect manipulation of aura and your weapon can change shape to a variety of strategies. You have an upper advantage and humiliates Fatibitan. After the fight, the mayor offers you the title of mayor. Now is the time you need to think. With your knowledge of 2 lives, the mayor position should be an awesome opportunity to improve Lux Village, but it will take a lot of your time. It's up to you, but it's your decision. Also, at this point, Malaka has fallen in love for you. But, if you don't have attraction for woman, you have a huge problem. The best course of action is to ask her to marry you, and you'll find why later in this video. But it's up to you. Let's say, you give a like in this video right now and subscribe to the channel to have more adventures like this one you're having. And after that, you accept and ask for permission to marry Malaka. You and Malaka get married, and you've become the Major of Lux. 1 year passes and you and Malika are happily married with a baby son, Gran. You become a successful mayor and the mithril processing business flourishes in the village. One day, Gashita informs you that the hero is coming to the village. Lady, the new hero, arrives in the village with her party and stays at the mayor's house, and reveals her objectives for coming to the village, including finding a 4th member for her party. The village holds a competition to decide the 4th member, with Lady's party members using kitchen utensils as handicaps. Gashita shoots arrows at Lady and a fight breaks out, but Lady uses too much power in her attack, which makes you intervening to save Gashita's life. Lady is impressed with your skills and tests you in a fight, and you successfully counter her most powerful move with the same move. After that, Lady offers you a position in her party, but you decline to focus on your family and avoid fighting your former demon family members. Later that night, Lady asks you privately about where you learned the Skyrim technique. You claim that you learned it by copying her style, but she points out the differences between your style and hers. Lady becomes mad and urges you to join the fight against demons again. You argue about which side started the first attack and mention that a human hero set out to kill the Demon King first. Now is your time to use some persuasion. With your knowledge and achievements, you should argue about how you could regain the mine with no bloodshed, how you're creating a place that everybody can get along, and how killing a hatred brings more killing and hatred. If you do it right, the lady will be moved by your values and strength, and requests you to be her teacher. By accepting, you'll have a powerful influence on one of the most important figure on the human side of the war. Some day passes, and Rizid visits you to tell you about his promotion to the special and void position. Zebiance, one of the 4 general of the demon army, interrupts the meeting and punishes Rizid for not informing of your whereabouts. She demands you to hand over control of mithril supplies to her, but you refuse. She is a little stubborn, so you have to teach some lessons by beating her up. Furthermore, she moves the conversation outdoors and tries to gain control by using force, but you beat her in battle repeatedly. Furthermore, she tries to destroy the village with a geostorm to find the mithril, but you unleash the Skyrim technique to counter the storm. After the humiliating loss, she accepts defeat and agrees to buy mithril from you. But there is another problem. Lady find about Zebiance as the duel begins. Both are evenly matched, and no clear winner emerges for a long time. Grand, your son, runs towards the 2 mid-duel, and Zebiance destroys a boulder about to hit him in the air of her spell. This causes Lady to finally recognize the goodness in demons, and the 2 factions get along well and call off the duel. This is the first time Grand resolves a big issue. I told you to marry Malaka, but you didn't. You could also intervene after the battle, arguing your point of view. It won't be an issue with Lady since you're her master and already persuades her. Some time passed, and Lady's party members brings a guest to your village after running into him during a quest. The guest is Elancel, the strongest hero in history. As you remember your life in the demon army, this hero is responsible for thousands of demon deaths. However, you realize Alancel's gentleness with kids and invites him inside. The village comes to watch Arancel train in the village. He asks you for a spar, but in the middle of the sparring Arancel senses magic from your house. He becomes enraged, thinking it's a demon, and you block his attempt to kill the supposed demon. As you battle against the strongest hero in history, but you're no match for his powers. In the middle of the battle, you reveal to Alancel that you were raised by demons and wishes for humans and demons to coexist. Also, Arancel realizes you're his lost son, and you are interrupted by Gran Versa, who confirms it after a battle with Alancel. The battle hits up, and that when the ambassador Gran will have his biggest hole in your path. You don't have the power to stop the battle between your fathers, and you probably won't persuade Arancel to stop. If you didn't marry Malaka, good luck. You probably face an all-out war of the demon army and the central guild. But Gran comes in the middle of the battle, and the grandfather's differences are temporarily put aside when they meet their baby grandson. Later that night, his three grandfathers bond and play with Gran, and Alancel makes peace with Gran's role as his son's father figure. Some time passes, and you find about a dragon, one of 4 legendary beasts, is attacking the mithril mine. Since you are the only one that knockers can trust, you should rush in to save them fast, and Lady's party, Granbazet and Arancel should join forces to defeat the dragon. If you did not marry Malaka, you will probably to face the dragon alone and let the knockers die, or save them and let the dragon loose. But inside the cave, you encounter the magical earth beast Gigantomaquia and you for his good heart by removing some restrictions from his sword. As you get out of the cave with everyone, Granbazet informs you that the dragon is Bashveza's doing, and is approaching Lux Village with on 4 legendary beasts to kill Lady and her party. If you did not marry Malaka, you would not have Arancel and Lady S support to delay the dragon, so the village would be destroyed with everybody in it. The best course of action is to evacuate his village and confront the dragon with your new improved weapon. So, you and Bashveza engage in a battle, with Bashabaza revealing his plan to eradicate all humans to end the demon-human conflict. Bashveza uses magic to enhance his powers, growing horns and a tail, while the rest of the party battles the dragon. You recognize the fire spell and must stop it, or it will destroy the village. You use the Hermes sword to destroy the spell with a giant light beam. The magic on Bashveza takes a greater toll on his body, turning him into a dark beast-like figure. He attacks you with renewed strength and pins you against a wall. Bashveza becomes so strong that the magic starts spilling over, causing you to enter Bashveza's memories. You witness Bashveza's childhood memories of his admiration for your father. Bashveza meets you, his older brother, and realizes his father spent time with you instead of him. Later, Bashveza becomes a general and is giving you as his aide, but constant loneliness turns into hate and bitterness towards you. At this moment, you should try to forgive him. If you remember your past feelings in this life, you could use it as a tool to communicate your feelings through synchronized thoughts and apologize for failing to be a good older brother. If you succeed, Bashveza forgives you, causing the magic to break and Bashabaza goes back to his normal body. With magic broken, Salamander goes on a rampage, but Bashveza will fuse with the monster to control it and takes it somewhere else at the cost of his life. You and Granbaza destroy the monster and Bashveza is saved. You return to your home where your wife Malaka greets you with a feast. For the cost of his actions, Bashveza is banished from the demon kingdom as punishment and brought to your home and is welcomed with open arms and meets his baby niece, who says her first word, big brother Bashveza. After some time, Bashveza leaves to help those he heard like the knockers and travels the world to increase his knowledge, and you continue living your happy second life in the small, peaceful village. If you want to know how your story in another world progresses, make sure to leave your feedback in the comments. Your thoughts and opinions mean a lot to me, and I'm eager to hear what you think about your journey so far. Who knows, your comment might even influence the direction of the story and help me make important decisions along the way. So don't hesitate, leave a comment and join me on this exciting adventure in another world.